George of the jungle, strong as he can be.
What would you say if I told you there are some actual benefits to the co-signer who'd be willing to go on the loan to help a family member buy the house, even though they're not going to live in it? That's what we're going to discuss in thecreditjungle.com today. Hi, this is George Anderson, and thank you for joining us. And you know, we see a lot of situations, and this has been ever since I started in the business over 30 years ago, that a lot of times the kids feel like, hey, we can afford a house payment. They might even have their down payment, their credit's good and everything else, but maybe based on the way that the underwriter is looking at their income, we're not giving them credit for all the income that's coming in, and so we need a co-signer to document more income. So remember again that the purpose of a co-signer, you don't need a co-signer for assets because a family member can gift the money for the down payment without having to be on the loan. And a co-signer with great credit doesn't compensate for the occupying borrowers who don't have such great credit. So if we're looking for that extra income, then what would be the benefit to being a co-signer? Well, here it is. There's two of them actually. The first one is the mortgage interest deduction. So if you have, let's just say we have husband and wife, and then one of the parents, husband and wife, are on the loan. There are technically 4 people on that mortgage note, which means that there are 4 Social Security numbers on that, and then you're going to get a 1098 interest statement at the end of the year. Well, that interest statement, regardless of who made the payment, okay, is going to be given to each person underneath their Social Security number. And what that means is that as the borrowers sit down and they do a consultation with it, the standard deduction right now for a couple, you know, is over $24,000, which means whether or not you own a home or not, you get to take a $24,000 $400 deduction. I mean, it's a moving number, but it's at least $24,000 for a married couple. Well, what if the total interest that they paid on their mortgage was only 20 grand, and they don't have any other itemized deductions that would be more? Well, then your mortgage interest deduction is of no help to them if they're living in the house. So they don't even take it, and there's no benefit for it. However, the parents could, if there was a benefit for them, they could take that interest deduction on there. So just something to think about on that. So there's a benefit that way, that there's potentially the benefit of taking that interest deduction. The other thing on there is capital gains. Typically when the co-signer is on the loan, not only are you going to have 4 people on the note, you're going to also have 4 people on the trust deed. So that means that the ownership interest is also held jointly by all 4 parties, just as there is a joint obligation on the mortgage loan. So let's just say that the parents kicked in some money. Okay, now there's no gift letter because they're not gifting the money because they're on the loan. Okay, if they put in $5,000, $10,000 or whatever to help with it, okay, they could actually treat that money as an investment in the home because they're on title, they're on the loan. And if the kids sold the property, say 5 years down the road, and said that, hey, there's, you know, a $100,000 capital gain on this, Mom and Dad, we made a ton of money off of this thing. Would you like to have your investment back plus interest? And they could definitely do that, and the parents could take back a gain from that capital gain without having to claim it. So some possible benefits to consider when asking for a cosigner. A lot of people are hesitant to be able to ask their parents, but I have had quite a few transactions where I've helped the cosigner see the potential benefit for it, and maybe this is something that might help you down the road. So anyway, thanks for dropping in. This is George Anderson. This is thecreditjungle.com, and you can push button, get mortgage professional, and I'd love to talk with you about your situation. Have a great day.